Hey, shalom, brethren. I'm trying to figure this out at the last minute. I don't think I'm gonna make it work. Trying to figure something out. Just hang with me for a second. Woo-wee. All right, brethren. Thank you for joining me. Videos that I love to do. I love to try to do what is right by the Creator God, trusting that He'll work with me. He'll mature me. He'll make me able to learn as I go on. So, brother, man, I'm counting on y'all. If y'all see something wrong or there's something wrong with the screen, to let me know in the chat. I'm trying to get the hang of it still, and you're just gonna have to bear with me. When I get the hang of this, I'm gonna really, really try to make this channel a real blessing to you, brethren. But until I get the hang of it, you're just gonna have to bear with me. Trying to learn how to change screens, and so if anybody, first of all, am I even broadcasting? Can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, okay. Would somebody type one? Let me know if you can hear me, okay. If the audio is okay, if anybody can hear me, I'm ready to get started as soon as there's something that I want to. I'm trying to show my screen and what I want to share, like my other channel. Can y'all hear me okay? Type one if you can hear me. Okay, thanks, Dave. Thanks. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and get started. All right, let me go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna have to fight through uh, learning how to switch screens and all that jazz. So anyway, brethren, thank you for joining me. My videos that I love to try to do, absolutely love to do every day, much as I can. Try to redeem the time while I'm in this reality. And thank you for joining me. Um, Before I begin, like I always do, I want to acknowledge the angels of the rising of the daytime and the angels of the evening. And so I'm talking about the angels that are found in this book right here, the Essay and Gospel of Peace book for the teachings of the elect. And today, being Tuesday rising, that would be the angel of water. Or would it be the angel of water? No, it would be the angel of joy. The angel of joy. So I'm going to read right here, and then let us say these this part here together 3 times. Let me read what I'm going to read. And on the fourth rising after Sabbath, say these words. And then let's say this 3 times together on three. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Angel of joy, descend upon earth, pouring forth beauty and delight to all the children of the earthly mother and the heavenly Father. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Angel of joy, descend upon earth, pouring forth beauty and delight to all the children of the earthly mother and the heavenly Father. Again, 1, 2, 3. Angel of joy, descend upon earth, bringing or pouring forth beauty and delight to all the children of the earthly mother and the heavenly Father. And then we read, and you will go forth into the fields of flowers after rain and give thanks to your earthly mother for the sweet odor of blossom. For I tell you, truly, a flower has no other purpose than to bring joy to the heart of the Son of Man, and you will listen with new ears to the song of the birds and see with new eyes the colors of the sun and its rising and setting, and all the gifts of the earthly mother will cause joy to well forth within you as spring wells forth of a sudden in a barren place, and you shall know that no one comes before the Heavenly Father that the angel of joy lets not pass. For in joy was the earth created. What happened here? For in joy was, if I can get back to it, for in joy, if I can get back, angel of joy, where are you? Here we go. For in joy, where was that? For in joy was, for in joy was the earth created, and in joy did the earthly mother and the heavenly Father give birth to the Son of Man. All right. And then this evening is going to be the angel of power. For this evening is going to be the angel of power. For Tuesday evening is the angel of power, where we read, and on the fourth evening after Sabbath, say these words. So we're going to say these words 3 times together on three. 3 times together on three. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Angel of power descend on me and fill with power all my deeds. Again, 1, 2, 3. Angel of power, descend on me and fill with power all my deeds. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Angel of power, descend on me and fill with power all my deeds. And then we read, I tell you truly, just as there is no life on earth without the Son, there is no life in the Spirit without the angel of power. What you think and what you feel, these are like the dead scriptures, which are only words on a page, or the dead speak to dead men. But the sons of light will not only think, will not only feel, but also do, will also do. And their acts will fulfill their thoughts and feelings as the golden fruit of summer gives meaning to the green leaves of spring. All right, so there go the angels of the daytime and the angels of the rising, found in the SC Gospel of Peace, book 4. And like always, I have a room on Facebook where I'm looking to share with other faithless brethren. And I have a movement seeking to minister to brethren. I realize that they're unfortunate brethren. And even if you're not a faithless, really just anybody, if there's a brother and sister that anybody who listens to this video, you know, and they are struggling, man, I certainly am not afraid to be contacted to minister to them, food, charity. I'm certainly willing, man. You know, the more you learn the OAHSPE, the more you learn that the simple truth, man, the simple truth is really just do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Basically, that's it right there. Just do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Just serve one another. Just love one another. You know, I'm going to be reading from the book of Ben, and basically, it's the creator telling man, you know, you really, if you would just be satisfied in my provision for you, then that's all that's really necessary. You're not going to learn everything as much as I know. The really important thing is to just glorify the creator and the fact that you are able to enjoy the creation. Just you enjoy it. And enjoying the creation and serving your brother, you know, it feels good, man, to be able to help somebody. It really does. That's the will of the creator right there. But see, man, you know, he likes to learn everything. And I'm not saying that's not right, it's bad. I'm just saying that men, knowledge in the hands of men is a dangerous thing, I think, because immediately when he gets it, he runs to to have dominion over his fellow man. That's what I see. I remember when I was a Hebrew Israelite, and they, even if you look at their videos, they constantly got their nose stuck in the book. They do all that learning, and they never come to the knowledge of the truth, which is simply have an appreciation for your brother. You know, make no division amongst yourselves. Realize that wherever spirit of life is, that's where the creator is. And then in serving others, you serving yourself and you serving the creator. That's really the bottom line right there. You give a little knowledge to men and they become dangerous as hell. They become very dangerous. And so when I read what I'm going to read from the book of Ben, it's basically telling you you're never going to get on the level where you learn it, where you learn everything, you know everything. Why don't you just learn to why don't you just learn to glorify the creator and be satisfied with that? Just be about his will. Try to focus on that. You need some knowledge in order to answer people. I understand that. But I think that we live in a reality where men, we like to put knowledge above works and charity and love and faith, that sort of thing. I do think that when I read the OAHSPE, the thing that I love is you automatically going to grow. You must grow, man. When you simply are satisfied with what you get on a daily, on a daily basis, what it seems like. When you were a child, or being a child was the best times of a lot of people's lives because you didn't try to dominate anybody. I mean, you were able to enjoy just being a child pretty much. I mean, they have the spirit of curiosity. They want to learn things too. But it's not like when people become adults, man, and then they seek knowledge for the sake of, they seek knowledge and then their pride comes out. And you can tell in the way that people who have knowledge deal with other people, talk down to them, start telling them what their own mind is thinking. You start um, um, taking liberties with people, you know, saying any old thing to people, not respecting people. Everybody's got to think your way. I found that when I was a Hebrew Israelite, man, looking back, that's the thing that I learned that what men are like. I think the most valuable lessons I got when I was a Hebrew Israelite, street brother, is how men will treat their brother if they get a little knowledge over him, how they will deal with them on a human level. Will you show respect towards them? Will you always seek to be right? Everybody else has got to be wrong. You got to be right. And, that's the biggest thing I learned about the Creator is that the Creator, when I picture the Creator and His righteous gods, lords, and angels, I don't picture Him as somebody that just wants to have dominion over you. I picture the Creator as someone who provides for children, which are really all men, in the hopes that they would enjoy what He has provided for His children, His creation, and that they would in turn glorify the Creator. It's like the Creator; He wants the love and appreciation of man, and man, He wants the same thing, and both things can be had. If we just learn to appreciate what just sir, if we were bigger on our charity than we were in our mouth talking, we would be home free, man. You know that. We would be home free. When I was under religion, let me show you my room that I'm inviting, click on the link, rather come in if you want to. And just try to be a fellowship of brethren. Just try to learn. Just try to, you know, to I love to share the word. I love to share the word, the Creator's word, because I think it's fun. I think it's I think it's really fun, man. I feel like I'm looking. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like I'm learning secrets of the universe. It's a lot of fun to learn things about spiritual things, physical things, creational things, if you want to. But I think it's even better when just you can learn without wanting to try to compete with brethren, be looked up to, get brethren to glorify you. Because I perceive, I perceive that's the way mankind is. I'm talking about even people who are faithless. I think knowledge in the hands of the righteous and the wicked, it can produce the same fruit. I mean, you look at the gods of the OAHSPE. Now, the OAHSPE, it really exposes. calling gods, they are really, that's one thing that blows my mind about the OAHSPE. And when you hear about these gods, man, they turn and they want to be worshipped, and they dupe people, they dupe spirits so that, you know, you will serve them. And, even in man's reality, even in the reality of men, you see the same thing. You'll see babies born and the older siblings trying to, don't want the mother to give the attention to the younger. That actually happened to me. My mom told me how my older brother used to try to push me out of the crib because children are like that. They want to receive the love. Wild animals are like that. I even seen a video where the father was holding his newborn and the cat jumped up on the father's lap and was like trying to push his chin up under the father. In other words, wanting the father to hold the cat, to stroke the cat's hair. It was obvious the cat was saying, well, what about me? What about me? I see you hold your newborn, but what about me? What about me? I mean, love is a commodity, man. To have people, to command the respect of people, to command the love of people. Everybody wants that, you know? But it's a terrible shame, man, that also up there is pride. People have pride. And when they get a hold of knowledge, the combination is a terrible thing, man. You don't want to live around a person who they got a bunch of knowledge, but the way they present themselves, you can tell that it's really only skin deep. It's really just knowledge, head knowledge they got. But so far as the deeper things, the charity, the compassion, the empathy for one another, you can see it's missing. I can tell it easily, man. I could tell it easily. One of the easiest things for me to see when I'm sizing up a brother, because I size up everybody, so I can know who to distance myself from, who to, keep in arm's length. It looks like I'm wearing a rag here. I am actually just a torn blanket. I tore it, but I tore it too much, and it looks like I'm wearing rags. I need it because when you're in a power chair, you can't move as much. You get cold real easy. I'm sitting here with a fan on, and it's almost 60 degrees outside. Real nice outside, but in case you're looking at me, you wonder. But even wild animals, they respond to compassion, kindness. There's one thing that really makes me stumble is in this reality, the way men treat the truth. The way men treat the truth. I mean, they get some knowledge, and it don't have no effect on their decorum. And for me, that's important because when I look at a man, when I'm sizing him up, I want to see what the power of the truth has on his character. I look for that because I I constantly, and you got to be careful when it comes to people. I look at one thing when you talk about spirituality, you talk about the Creator. I think it's important to, when you look at people, to size them up against the Creator, and that will help. That'll save you. I believe that'll save you a lot of trouble. So mostly what I do is I will size up a brother and sister. I'll size them up. I'm always looking at people's character because why? Because I want to save myself a lot of trouble. You know, I want to save myself from brethren, sisters in the world who will deceive me or who will the way that they will treat me in a way I don't want to be treated. And the only way I can tell things like that is I will quickly judge you. I know what they say about not judging, but I love to say right back, well, I do. And I think it's important because, I was listening to a video, and Dave, thanks. Thanks, Dave. I listened to that video you sent me about the near death experience. I looked at it, and he talked a lot about, he really, and a lot of people, those near death experiences, one thing that you always hear them talk about, they get to right away, something they want you to know about. It's the love that they felt when they were in the environment that they were in. I mean, now he mentioned it was like the title of the video was something like 10 things you have to do to get to heaven. And he was running down the list, and then number three was like loving one another or something like that. I forget what the top two were. But it made me think to myself, you know what? It basically was him describing an environment, and they all seem to do this, where you would want to live. And it starts with you. It's like you set the tone. But one one main thing that, reading, when you're learning, approaching, trying to draw near greater God, it seems like only one thing is really, really necessary. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. To serve one another, to love one another, to appreciate one another, to empathize with one another. Now that don't mean it's going to always stop people from mistreating you, but you don't have to be a fool. You can separate, get away from people who are not under. I mean, you know, we live being on the earth. That video that I was looking at, the guy said this is the hardest, worst place, the earth. He mentioned something about the dead, those who have gone on, and I have to think he was talking about those who have elevated in their spirit. They feel for us, who are on the earth, and it's not the first time I heard that. That's not the first time. So anyway, brother, I'm on StreamYard. Let me go into the room real quick. See what's going on with that. Ace to that. Hey, you said you clicked on the info and got it. Go in. I waited for you to talk last night. Was something wrong yesterday? I don't know. It was something. I thought that there wasn't anything wrong with the video yesterday. I don't know if I understand your post. I thought that everything was all right yesterday. You say you didn't hear the audio? He said, or were you talking to David? Oh, she was waiting, or you were probably waiting for Dave to talk. I think she wants you to come into the room, Dave. I think she wants to hear you because you came in, but you were for the most part quiet. Personally, I had a lot of respect. The scriptures seem to point out that people like that they hold their peace. They don't say a lot. Them turn out being the ones you really need to hear from. We learned a lot on yesterday's video. I was trying to learn how to, you know, work StreamYard. I don't know what screen y'all looking at, man. I'm looking at the screen here, and it shows the SD gospel piece. And I was sharing something else. And I don't even know if y'all can see it. I don't know what y'all see on the screen. I don't know. I was trying to show the room that I have on Facebook and the, the food ministry, and I'm sitting up here looking at the screen, but it don't seem to be showing that. So I really don't know what's going on here. I'm hoping that I'm broadcasting okay, and I guess I won't find out until I end the video. Hopefully, brother will give me some information on what's going on because I don't know. I really don't know what brother are looking at. So if you brother would help me out, I'd really appreciate it. So anyway, let me presume that I can be heard and everything. I'm actually looking at my room on Facebook right now. So if you if you look at the screen, you should see the room that I have on Facebook. So anyway, what was I saying? You know, I plan to use this room primarily for brother to come into the room, and really just share whatever you want to talk about. It could be off topic. It could be something that you are learning, something that you want to say, put on video for other brethren to check out. To testify, talk about something you're learning. We can have a dialogue. I can talk to you just like maybe you would like to talk to somebody. I can do that too. I'm trying to turn this room into a room for the people, preferably faithless, to come in and to put something out there in the digital airways so that somebody may come across it and it may help them to turn a corner. I plan to use this room to be as interactive as I can possibly make it. I'm in a situation right now where I'm trying to learn as I go along here. But I need brother to help me to, like right now, I'm trying to just show you my screen. You should be seeing the fellowship that I have on Facebook. So I'm trying to keep an eye on three different things at the same time. So anyway, you see, here's my room. I have a link in the description area. If you want, you come in, click on the link, or put it in your browser, click on it. It'll bring you to the room. Trying to minister to brethren. I'd like for brethren to come in. Oh, here you are, Dave. Normally, I don't allow pictures to stay up in the room, Dave. I didn't have the heart to remove it, but I don't allow pictures in the room because I don't want the room it will turn into the world. So I'll just scroll down a little bit. And so, brethren, if there are any brethren who come across the video, you're faith, you will have fellowship. Here's the room where you can come in, you speak your language. Hopefully, you'll want to share with brethren what what your reality is like being a faith, what you have learned, anything that if you're willing to encourage your brethren, you certainly are. So I'm gonna go ahead and I don't see anything. My sister hasn't given me anything to look at metaphysically. I like to time to time share the metaphysical word that she usually gives me in the home here. I don't see anything, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the reading. Go right to the reading of the OAHSPE, and this is going to be from the book of Ben. The book of Ben, and I love it. It's a really encouraging, interesting reading. It seems, and again, brother, I'm learning just like you are. I've only just really come into the knowledge of the philosophy, and the flavor that I get from it is a couple of things to expose the Bible, to expose false gods, to answer, to give you the mysteries, knowledge of the mystery, talk about the spiritual realm in better detail, because the Creator, I know He knows we're curious. We want to know about us. We want to know what happens to us before detail. And another thing that people often does, one really, really big thing, is that it exposes deity worship, worshiping of deities. And I'm telling you, I've been really, really, really trying to talk about deity worship because from what I see, what I read, it can lead you into captivity. It can bring you. One of the things that my brother Cosmic Cow was talking about yesterday, I was asking about. At one point, he started talking about his mom and uh, the the anger that he felt that the Beast Kingdom religion had deceived his mom. So I took the opportunity. I thought that she passed on, but his mom, she is. He said, "Mom, you made this," but he was still upset at the effect that the false gods had on his mom. And so I asked him if I asked him if I asked him about people who subscribe to, or they do not subscribe to the OAHSPE that he has on. Now, this is a brother who goes more than I do. He's been to the OAHSPE longer than I have, so I took the opportunity to ask him, and he said that people do go to hell. Hell being a part of the earth. When they leave the earth, they're still here. They're still in the atmosphere, so to speak, of the earth. They don't elevate. They don't graduate off of it. Their desires are here, and so they stay here, even in the spiritual. That's how I understand it in the OAHSPE. That's why the condition of your soul, your spirit, when you are at whatever point you cross over, you go into the spiritual realm, that's where you will be. If you're a Christian, you will basically go into captivity to the Christian God, Ruamon. That's the fallen God. And you have to go into captivity to him for however long until you come out of that. Now, brother did mention that people, they go in for periods of time. They don't stay there. And I presume that what he was saying, what I see to a read in philosophy is that you have to, just like here on the earth, you have to make a decision. And the Creator, He's going to honor your decision, whether you want to stay under deception or not. That's what I see in the movie. I seem to read where the Creator, He wants you to be 100% you. That He wants you to be 100% who you are, with no deception within yourself. I do perceive that He wants you to be free of any imperfections. Just like Jesus said in the Bible, be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. I believe he's got something there. I believe that he's telling the truth there. You know, something that I learned from listening to the brother yesterday was there's like what, three Jesuses? There's like three of them. There was Yeshua, there was, now I count Zarathustra as the real Jesus, Zarathustra. And then I think he mentioned one more historical quote unquote Jesus. But what we were given, because the Bible is a compilation of books that councils decided to compile and they gave to us. And so there's a lot of deception, and people are not going to learn till it's too late. So these are things that are just now coming out. The OAHSPE is really helping us to expose the lies. And we talk about the real Mount Ararat, the real Mount Ararat being in South Africa. And then the brother returned to logic to make a point about the real story of the flood, how there were like 12,000 people saved. We've been told there were 8 people saved. We were told, the author tells us that there were ships that were built and they were sent out and basically they came to rest in South Africa. It makes sense to me because I'm right out here by the Pacific Ocean, and the ships, this is where Pan was sunk that time. And then before the flood, the ships were built, they were sent out, and they would have had to go the other way towards Africa. That means down towards the tip, the southern tip of Africa. And to make a long story short, the ark couldn't rest in Turkey. You look at the topography, you look at the evidence of where the ships came to rest. In other words, you know, the brothers shared about how the Greeks wanted to find, they wanted to place themselves, the Greeks, and I think the Persians and another race of people. These are things that I'm going to be learning and try my best to share. The corruption of the Bible. And this is the time where, meaning the Cosmic era, where all types of knowledge, I mean, I perceive that it's going to get bigger and bigger because we're in the age of, we're in the time of who are going to reverse, which means a death and a rebirth, kind of like a death and a rebirth, and, and, and exposing the lies that we are used to. We're in that time now called the Cosmic era, a time of universal knowledge, a time of a brotherhood of men, a time of increase in spirituality. It's called a time of Dan in the OAHSPE Bible. But the amazing thing, you know, these type of things don't really interest. The world's not really ready for this type of, it's not really interested in this type of word, but it will be. We always know it's too late. So anyway, I don't have anything metaphysically to share with anybody, so I can go ahead and go into the reading of the OAHSPE Bible. I'm going to look at the book of Ben, chapter 2. And it's an interesting dialogue, man. Basically, you got to look at it like this: this you. It's really the story of you. Questions that we would want to ask, things that we would want to know. Really, that's what this is in particular. This book, the Book of Ben, and I perceive other books of OAHSPE, they're just like this. We want to know. We want knowledge. And then when we learn every single thing, we can want more and more and more and more. And it seems the Creator is saying, we, it's almost like the Creator is saying, you're trying to overreach. You keep trying to overreach. You're not being patient. You don't just let me give it to you when the time is, you want it before you, it's profitable before you talk about knowledge. You need to learn first. Just be satisfied with what I'm doing with you now. That's what he seems to be saying here. Just be learn. That's the really the lesson for us. Just try to learn to just deal with one another. Really, first, foremost, learn what it really means, man. To love your brother, to serve your brother, to esteem him higher than yourself. That's like prayer saying. Learn that first. Learn to be thankful, man. Just learn to be thankful. To just live for the day by day. Giving thanks, being a blessing, redeeming the time, just day by day. Quit trying to get it all at once. That's the way mankind is. He wants to know everything all at once. He wants you to give it to him and, really baby, simple terms. And, he wants you to give it to him the way he wants it. You don't want the creator to give us the knowledge, the experience the way he wants to. We want it our way. And you really learn a lot reading Lost Bible. How we're just, a lot of times it seems like we just keep digressing and not growing up and outward, upward and outward and evolving and stretching out. A lot of times, man, it seems like a lot of old ground has got to keep getting covered. It seems like, man, he just can't handle knowledge. When I read, you can see what I'm talking about. When I read from this, it seems like it's too hard for him. Knowledge. He starts out as a baby that even can't even clean himself. Starts to grow, he gets cared for, he's ministered to his parents, with him as he grows. And then we get to this point, we get a little too big for our britches. We want to know, we want to learn this, we learn that we're smarter than other people. And the first thing we do is we act like we didn't receive things that we have been taught. We get proud, man. We get a little knowledge, and the first thing we do is look down on our brother. Look down on our brother, man. Forget about the things that really that mean anything to the Creator. What does He say in the Bible? Faith, hope, and love. That's one thing that I'm really seeing. Knowledge in the hands of certain people is dangerous, man. It's a dangerous thing. So anyway, we can begin the reading of this book here, the Book of Ben, chapter 2. Since I got the street yard, I got to keep an eye on this room. So I got to be in here more than I would the other video software that I'm using. Okay, thanks, Dave. My audio is going in and out. Let me turn the music off. There, let me turn that off. Maybe that might help. Let me know if that's better, if you don't mind. Somebody's in the room here. Gaia, the Sage. Love finding new videos about the OAHSPE. Unfortunately, this audio is completely out of sync. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, man. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. The audio is out of sync. Oh, man. See, I'm just learning this StreamYard. I'm just learning it. And I'm in my growing pains with trying to. Oh, it sounds fine now, Dave. Thanks, man. Man, Dave, I'm really counting on you, man. I really appreciate you helping me out. So the audio is better. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. All right, so let me go back to the. I'm gonna try to keep. Let me see. Let me put the link in the room in case anybody wants to come in. I think it'll make a sound if somebody comes in, and if anybody wants to come in, you want to make a comment or something you want to say, that's going to be fine with me. I'm gonna try to make this channel one where we can basically interact with one another. You can share whatever it is that's on your heart, and we can talk, and or we can learn together. I can read something, you can come in, and we can chop it up over what we think this means or that means. So there's the link right there, brother. Thanks for helping me out there, Dave, about the audio. That sister, she might not even be in the room. It was messed up. The audio is completely out of sync. I think that she was talking about the what you're looking at on the screen. I think I might be ahead of what's on the screen. But Dave, you said that the sound is fine. Okay, that's good. All right, shoot. I just have to ask the creator to give me wisdom so that I can. Man, I hate to lose sister or lose people like that who come in and something is messed up and they end up leaving. They leave because of something technical. All right, well, shoot, man. Hope the creator let me do better. Hey, Dave, if you're in here, one more thing. Can you see? I mean, is the lettering on the screen? Can you read it? Can you read the lettering that's on the screen? Because I may have to do something different with that too. The lettering that's on the screen. Can you see the lettering on the screen? Can you read it? Because if not, then I have to figure out a way to where if someone's looking at the screen, they can read it. So let me know if you can read it. I'm gonna go on with the video, but if you can respond when you hear this. Okay, the lettering is fine. Okay, thanks, brother. Man, I really appreciate you helping me, man. Okay, so all right, now I can go on with the video then. And sorry, brother, it's kind of choppy video. I mean, I'm you know trying to find out if it's going okay and not trying to. I'm not flowing like I would normally. Not flowing in the video. Okay, let me go ahead with the reading, chapter 2, Book of Ben, and just interject wherever I can. But I think that you brethren are going to really like this because it's really the creator. It's like he's showing us who we are, things that we want to know. If we were talking to him, so we can go on with the reading. Book of Ben, chapter 2, where it says, verse 1, and may the Heavenly Father bless the reading of his word. Let me turn it up a little bit so you can see it better if you're looking at the screen. So it says, verse 1, God said, now this is God talking, not the creator, it's a creator of God, or one of the sons of God. And he says, hear me, O man, I have come to teach you wise dominion. Man said the Aborigines were free. Why should man with more wisdom learn dominion? Now, Cephas, it says Cephas said. Now, one interesting thing about what we're reading here, when you look up here, I got to shorten the screen a little bit. When you look at the beginning of the book of Ben, it gives you these symbols over here, right? You see Jehovah up top. I like to make the symbol whenever I see that name. Symbol for Jehovah. And then you have who he calls his children. Te, S, E-S, Corper, Hawk, Uz, Cosman, Esphoma, and Cephas. Now, Cephas is the definition for all these signs and symbols. They're called children of Jehovah. And it's a description of our reality. It's a description of our reality. Now, we're here looking at Cephas, right? It says Cephas is equivalent to the established, the enforced, as laws of the land, or the religion of the land as established. So now let's get back. We see where Cephas is talking. So we can look at it like Cephas, which is right here. It's like the law said, here's man, he poses a question. He says, man said the Aborigines were free. Why should man with more wisdom learn dominion? And then the law says, or the established said, my peace is forced peace. I am the light and the life. He's responding to man. Cephas, the law, or what's the definition for Cephas again? Definition for Cephas. Up here, definition for Cephas. The established or the enforced, the laws of the land or religion of the land. So now the laws of the land, the religion of the land, Cephas, the law of the land, the religion of the land, the enforced, said, my peace is forced peace. I am the light and life. So answering the man whose question is, why do we need to learn more wisdom? Why do we need to learn dominion if we're free? And then religion or the laws answer him and say, my peace is forced peace. I am the light and the life. And then man says, it says, man inquired, behold, the air of heaven is free. Can dominion come down out of nothing, as it seems, and rule over something that is proven? Verse 5, how can God rule over solid flesh? Uz says, oh, vain man. Now Uz is talking to him. Now Uz is talking to man. Matter of fact, what I should do is let me do this. Make another screen so I don't have to do all this going back and forth. Let's see, bear with me. I'm going to bring up another screen. Okay, so Ben, bring up another screen so I don't have to do a lot of chasing back and forth. Okay. Okay, getting to it. You know, it's important. I know that these symbols, these emblems, I I can't wait to learn what they are. I'm going to. I'm planning on learning how to read those things. What we're going to read, what we're reading, the creator's going to tell you why they're so important. These symbols that he gives us. I want to get to this part where the book of Ben is talking about these symbols. I'm just about there. Okay, here we go. Now let's go back. Now we can read a little quicker. Okay, so here's man, and he's talking to God, and he's got a bunch of questions. Now we're down here at verse 6. Now it's his turn to talk to man. And he says, now Uz, looking at the definition for Uz, which is right here, Uz. Uz, right here in verse 4, is the equivalent of the vanishment of things seen into things unseen. Uz is also equivalent to worldliness or world's people. Okay? Uz, right here. Uz. And these are talking to the man that we're reading about in the book of Ben, chapter 2. These are also called children of Jehovah. These are also called the children of Jehovah. Look on the right hand side. See? Children of Jehovah. So they're talking to us. We're in the place of man here in this reading. That's us. We're asking these questions. Now, Uz, which is the vanishment of things seen, which is worldliness. Now they're responding to the man. They say, "O vain man, do I not come in the winds of heaven and cast cities in epidemic, and yet man does not see me?" Verse 7, he says, "I inoculate in the breath. I cast fevers in the bright sunlight, and yet no man sees me." Verse 8, Jehovah said, "I gave the unseen all power to rule over the seen." So Uz is pointing to himself, but then Jehovah steps in and says, "No, it wasn't you, it was me. It's me that is ultimately why you even exist." Uz. Uz. His answer is, "It's because of me that I do these things." And then Jehovah is saying, I gave the unseen all power to rule over the seen in answering the man's question. And then Cosman said, oh man, why will you always search in the corporal for the cause of things? Behold, the unseen part of yourself rules over the seen. Now, Cosman, if we look at the, if we look at the definition for Cosman, we read, excuse me, the definition for Cosman is the present era. It's all knowledge and possession of man, embracing corporal, which is physical, and spiritual knowledge sufficiently proven. Cosman, one of the children of Jehovah, Cosman. And so Cosman is, we're asking Cosman, oh man, or Cosman is saying to us here in verse 9, Cosman says, oh man, why will you always search in physical for the cause of things? Behold, the unseen part of yourself rules over the seen. So we have, just like the scripture is in the Bible, it says that we were made subject to vanity, meaning we have a love of knowledge that really isn't even true knowledge. Really, just like the science we use isn't really real science. And that's in the Bible. The Bible says that, talks about findings of science falsely called. And so we have this thing in us where knowledge, we think that through knowledge that, number one, we think that we're going to become like the creator, really. That's really what we want, what we desire. And even though it'll never happen, man has that drive in him to learn, to reach over and above what he should, because he has a love of knowledge. And basically, his children are telling him how fruitless it is for him to try to basically get the knowledge that only belongs to the creator, really. And he's using it. He's going to use knowledge that people understand to make their point. That's what we're reading here. If I'm not mistaken, that's what's going on here. And then verse 10, it says, God said, now God is speaking. See, Cosman, he said, oh man, why were you always searching physical for the cause of things? Behold, the unseen part of yourself rules over the seen. Yeah, and he's right. Cosman is right here. And in verse 10, it says, God said, do not think that the ES world, which is the spiritual world, if we go back to our little definition book here, it says ES is equivalent to the unseen world. Also, the spirit world, the testimony of angels, also spirit. All right. So the spiritual world is the ES worlds, the ES here, ES worlds. It says, God said, do not think that the ES worlds are less governed by system than are the corporal worlds. The same creator created all. So here, Jehovah is stepping in to correct even the gods who are responding to man and his children. And here he's telling, it says here, God said, do not think that the spirit worlds are less governed by system than are the corporal worlds. The same creator created all. So basically, like people say, as above, so below, the same as in there is order in the spiritual. There's a system in the spiritual. It's governed. The spirit worlds, ES, are governed by system. So, like when you read about a spirit, when it crosses over, and there's a administrative process that takes that takes place. You know, you go to the HR, or the HR delivers your spirit up to the ASAP along with your records. Then the ASAP settles you in the eternal. And then from there, you are assigned learning, labor, and other things just as if you were here on the earth. You know, you grow up, you start off kindergarten, you know, and then higher and higher. It's the same way in the spiritual. It's the same way in the spiritual, basically, is what it's saying. There's a system. It says, verse 11, behold, all things are in dominion. You were in dark dominion before the time of bond. Now, I don't know what the time of bond is. I think that it's the time of creation of man. It could be, I don't know, I'm not sure. The time of bond. And then we read verse 12, by my own light, I gave you a dominion of light in the time of bond. This is God talking, not the creator. This is God talking, a righteous God. Verse 13, it says, man inquired if the unseen rules in man, what ruled the substance of man before he was made? See, questions that we would ask. And then Jehovah's speaking now. Now Jehovah's speaking. And he said, I created all things seen and unseen. My hand was always stretched forth in the work. I make and I dissipate everlastingly. And so, verse 15, behold, I make a whirlwind and ethereal hundreds and hundreds of millions of miles across. And it drives to the center a corporeal world from that which was unseen. So, again, the vortex, the way that the Creator uses to create all things. You know, how you look at if you've ever seen like water going down a drain, and you know, if you're above the equator, it goes down clockwise motion. If you're below the equator, it goes in a counterclockwise position. But in both cases, there's a the middle, like it creates a hole, and that's what brings the material together in the spiritual and forms physical planets of, you know, physicality elements being brought together because of that vortex. He calls it here a whirlwind. Behold, I make a whirlwind in ethereal, hundreds and hundreds of millions of miles across, and it drives to the center a corporal world from that which was unseen. Meaning, if you jumped into a pool and there was a big a whirling pool, it'll bring you to the center of it. You got to go to the center. And the creator is saying that's how he brings elements together and they get created. They get joined together through the whirlwind, through the vortex. He said, I blow, verse 16, my breath upon the planet, and lo, man comes forth inquiring, who am I? And what is my destiny? And then the creator, he says, I send an elder brother of man to reach him, to show him the light. An elder brother. That's who the gods are for us. They are men who have went on before. They were mortals too. And they went on and they became kings and lords and angels and gods. It says, verse 18, God said, behold me, O man, I am an elder brother. I have passed through death and found the glory of the unseen worlds. So it's saying it right here again. God said, behold me, O man, I am an elder brother. I have passed through death and found the glory of the unseen worlds. The glory of the unseen worlds. Verse 19, Jehovah said, or Jehovah gave me your God dominion over the earth and her heavens. Verse 20, man said, I have found truth in corporal, which is physicality. I know I live, that trees grow and die. Verse 21, it says, this is true knowledge. Give me truth in regard to the unseen so that I can prove it true. So he gets it in the physical, that it taught him that he's alive and that things around him, that they partake of life too. But he wants to know, and even though Jehovah just told him about the unseen, the as the the us, the world of us, the unseen, he's asking again. It's just like, I know you fake this. There's somebody that I deal with, and they ask me the same question over and over again. And it's an amazing thing, man. What do you mean to be? Who's the beast kingdom? How are they the beast kingdom? Who is the beast kingdom? How are they the beast kingdom? How do you know they're the beast kingdom? You know, well, what is deity worship? What is idolatry? And then asking you the same question. I mean, that's what I've experienced. I've seen it. Talking about what a faith this is. How's a faith this different from a Christian or a Catholic or a Protestant or a Hindu or a Muslim or a Hindu, so on and so forth. They're like baby type of questions. And you have to answer it over and over again. That's where patience is required. That's where maturity is too, though. I love it because that's how the creator, he teaching you to to handle maturity, you know, to be patient with people, realizing that hoping that they're trying to understand what you're saying to them. And we got to be patient with ourselves too. We have to humble ourselves too and be able to be taught. But we live in a reality where their brethren, they get a little bit of knowledge, man, and they start insulting their brother, and you're not listening, and let's keep telling you to listen to what I'm saying, and and don't let be quiet. Hold on, let me, let what you're eternally listening. You can't ask them questions because they're busy talking, and it shows a lack of maturity to be able to deal with people on their own level. So a lot, it's like unless we come with the humility and to listen, to ask questions, and it's up to the teacher to be able to humble himself enough to exercise patience, exercise humility. But see, we get a little knowledge, we become proud. We become proud. Terrible shame, man. Terrible shame. Verse 22, why, O God, do you give the matters of heaven and earth and signs and symbols? This is a good question here. Check it out. The man says, why, O God, do you give the matters of heaven and earth and signs and symbols? Give me the real light. I want no figures. See, he sounds just like people. He sounds just like man. Make it easy for me. I mean, tell me in baby terms. You're not explaining it good enough. How come you can't tell me in a way that I can understand, And you got to love it. Cosmin, which is, again, universal knowledge, which is increased light. Cosmin says, you are vain, old man. What then have you learned? So he's basically going to show him that it is through signs and symbols which the man is rejecting. He's rejecting signs and symbols. That's the answer. He's rejecting it. He's saying that don't work. Give me something that's real. Give me something I can feel. And then universal knowledge steps in, most likely a brother who is passed on, sent back to teach us about the light. One of the children of Jehovah, Cosmic, he says, you are vain, old man. What then have you learned? Can you tell why the grass is green? Or why one rose is red and another white? Or the mountains raised up or the valleys sunken low? Oh, why a man has not made to fly as a bird or live in the water like a fish? Where did the thought of shame come from? Even yourself you did not comprehend, nor do you know of your own knowledge. The time you were beginning, you know, he said, even yourself you do not comprehend, nor do you know of your own knowledge. The time of your beginning. Saying you don't even know when you were born or what happened when you were born. You don't even know when you first began to talk or walk. It says, you know 3 times 3 or 9, yet even this you cannot prove except by symbols and images. That's why the creator, he's already beat you to it. He's giving you something that is real. But you're rejecting it because you want it put in such a way you don't understand the way things are yet. We want it to where, so what we want to do is for creator to take a hold of our brain and fashion it in a way that it will it'll make the spoken word resonate without us really having to put any effort into it. That's really what we like it like that. We want we want the creator to do all. I mean, we just gonna sit here and then you do it all. You make us, you configure us in a way where we'll get it. And the creator is saying no. No. I mean, number one, if you had all knowledge, you would overthrow me. First of all, you would try to overthrow me. It's going to be interesting, man. I firmly believe, I don't want to sound kooky, but I think that AI is going to surpass man if we don't stop it. AI, artificial intelligence, I believe that it could either be good for brotherhood of man or it could be bad. I think that these are things that we're going to find out. We're going to find out about AI. Is it a blessing or is it a curse? What will it be? Verse 24, nor is there anything in your corporal, which is physical knowledge, that you can prove otherwise, except for your presence. And even that which you see is not your presence, but the symbol and images of it. For you yourself are only as a seed, a spark of all light that you cannot prove to exist. Isn't that something? He says we can't prove anything, really. He says, nor is there anything in your corporal knowledge, that's your physical knowledge, that you can prove otherwise except for your presence. He says, and even that which you see is not your presence, but the symbol and image of it. For you yourself are only as a seed, a spark of the all light that you cannot prove to exist. He says, verse 25, man is inquired, where then is real knowledge possible to man? If corporal body and corporal senses are evanescent, which means it's not permanent. If your corporal physical body is not permanent, And your physical senses are not permanent. That's what evanescent means. And soon to fly away. How can I comprehend that which does not fly away, namely the spirit? And then it says, yet I know a truth. I know that 10 things are 10. It reads, but this knowledge I can write down and clearly teach my brother. Then it says, see, image, verse 10, it says, this is exact science. And this is going to be interesting, the response that now Esphoma is like the air, the wind in the air. Esphoma, it's like there was a saying in the world, there's something in the air. Sometimes people say there's something in the air. It's a saying meaning there's a vibration that they perceive that is saying something is ready to come to pass. Because, see, man is saying, yeah, I know it's true. I know that things are. It says, man inquire, where then is real knowledge possible to man? If my corporal body and corporal senses are impermanent, evanescent, if my physical body and my physical corporal senses are impermanent and soon to fly away, how can I comprehend that which does not fly away, namely the spirit? And then he says, yeah, I know a truth. I know that 10 things are 10. This knowledge I can write down and clearly teach to my brother. And then he says, see, here are 10. This is exact science. And then Esphoma, that spirit, it says, you have only written 2 strokes. So you haven't really proved 10 is 10. He says, here, you've only written 2 strokes. You've written a 1 and a 0. And you called it exact science. And what Esphoma is the point Esphoma is making is that's not exact science. You said that there was 10 when I see only 2 or I see only 1. But you said it was 10. And you wrote down a 1 and a 0 and you called it 10. You see where Esphoma, the spirits are going with these answers. Verse 27, Esphoma said, you have written only 2 strokes and called them 10. Now I will show you 10. And then Esphoma writes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Esphoma writes 10 in symbols. And it says, yet do not be surprised, for because I have deceived you, yet I will now convict myself also. I said I will show you 10. And immediately I made 10 marks. But I have written the word 10. Now you are wise. No, hear me further, for all I have spoken is false. For I have not tried to persuade you that one uttered word 10 was 10. I instead, or it says instead, I should have uttered 10 utterances. Your supposed exact science is nothing, and your supposed truth is only falsehood, compounded and acquiesced in. And then Jehovah says, man's wisdom is simply the experience of my creations expressed to man's understanding in signs and symbols. So it's like Jehovah is saying, anything that you could possibly know, I've way already been through it. And I'm describing it to you in my creation. anything that you could ever possibly know. You can never get up on my level. And his wisdom decrees that he uses signs and symbols to teach us because that is what is best for us to learn, even though we might not understand it at the time. He says, verse 29, man said, if I search for real, shall I never attain it? Why then this crazing? Is truth only that which flies away? And so Jehovah says, behold, you have said you shall love the Creator with all your heart, with all your soul. And how can I love that which I cannot comprehend? That's man talking. That's us talking. And then the Spirit says, because behold the utterances of the birds and the skipping of the lambs at play. These are the express love they have for the Creator. In other words, they don't need to know number one, they don't need to know it all to express their appreciation for the Creator. It says, verse 32, to rejoice because you are created, to seek exalted rejoicing, to cultivate the light of your life, turn away from dark things. These are to love your Creator. See, this is true love of the Creator. To rejoice because you are created. To seek exalted, it says to rejoice because you are created, to seek exalted rejoicing, to cultivate the light of your life, to turn away from dark things. These are to love your Creator. Loving you is loving the Creator. Serving another is serving the Creator. The kingdom of heaven is within you. That's what Jesus Christ said. It all starts with us. With us. It says to rejoice because you are created. To seek exalted rejoicing. To cultivate the light of your life. To turn away from dark things. These are to love your Creator. And then man said, that's us. So we say, well then, if truth cannot be found and mathematics cannot be proven, other than by false things that are false in fact, I will instead search for goodness, and I will shun sin. Is this not wise? God said, this is wise, but what are goodness and good works? Well, you need to be taught even in that. And he already has answered it, which is to love one another, to serve one another. And then everything else falls in line. So you have to really thank the Creator, man, that number one, he's got it all figured out. Our elevation and our eventual perfection. We can't do anything greater than he can. The children. So he simply tells us his will is that we minister to one another. That's the highest we're going to ever get to. Serve one another. That's the joy that we're really looking for. We're trying to find it in physical things. That's what Uz said earlier. Why do you look for wisdom in physical things? Why are you why are you doing that, man? Uz said, "Oh man, behold your folly. All things you see, hear, and touch are my abode." Now Uz is darkness. And then man said, "What do you mean? You are vanishment. All things perish. You are that which is without foundation." And then God steps in and says, you are both a flesh man and spirit man. How can you expect your flesh talents to acquire substantial knowledge? All substance is impermanent. In other words, why Why are you looking at the physical to find what is impermanent? Why do you keep, you know, you keep on, you just search? I mean, again, knowledge is good. It's good. It's good. But we have to, it's like God is saying, really, you know what? To me, and my understanding, when we really come to faith, see, there's a real there's a real conundrum, man. Because here I say I believe, and I believe that I mean, I can walk, but not like a regular person. I have to use a cane. But if I believe that I am healed, and I believe that when you believe you're healed, but I am not healed, then to me, I don't know. I don't know how. I hope you can kind of get to just what I'm trying to say. When you're looking for something in the physical that only belongs to the invisible, then you should not be disappointed in what you're looking for. It does not. It does. It does. It's not manifested. Just needed to turn on the oven there so I can make some food. So anyway, I'm gonna let that be the conclusion of the reading of the word. Let me go back here in the room to see if anyone else is in there. All right. Oh, Gaia, is Gaia back? Did she come back? All right. I'm glad you're here, sis, because I've never seen you before. Nazarene Essene Faithis. All right, man. So nobody wanted to come in today, huh? That's all right. I want to make this room where, brethren, we can come in and talk to one another. We don't have to talk about the subject matter. We can talk about, anything that you want to say or you want to share or you want to other brethren to comment on, maybe something that you read and you want us to check it out. And now that I'm doing StreamYard now, I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna try to make it to where, brethren, you come in, man. You don't have to. It ain't gonna be about trying to get you to come under, my authority or the OAHSPE, or it ain't gonna be no leadership here. It ain't gonna be no do as I say, and I'm the only one who's right, and I ain't gonna allow it. I will not permit it. It will only be you. You bring something out. Maybe you want us to talk about it. Other brother can join in. Y'all come in the room, show your pretty face, you know, and we can chop it up like that. That's what I hope to make this room, you know. Or you want to comment on something I'm reading, or you want to, you know, that's what I'm going to make this channel. Now that I'm doing StreamYard, now you brethren, you can come in and you can take it over. Come up, say, let's talk about this or let's talk about that and get everybody engaged. That's what I want to make this channel. I'm gonna make it as interactive as possible, and I'm not gonna let nobody else take charge over anybody else. The OAHSPE is totally free will, man. I mean, it is free will before it's a free will for your behind, man. And that's the world I want to live in, man. I tell you the truth. I'm gonna run this channel like the world I want to live in, which is to serve you, talk to you. Hopefully, we be friends. Hopefully, we all just have one hell of a time, man. Just talking about this word, knowing that we blessed to have been for us to have come into the knowledge of this word, knowing that from here on out, man, it's going to get better. Other brethren going to come in, brethren who may not believe right now, it's almost like they're going to be forced to come. You got to love the way the creator is going to do business. He's going to just start. From what I see from reading the OAHSPE, he just going to bless us. I hope he brings us together. I hope he say, Guy Quab, even though you handicap, I want you to get up. I want you to go to Oregon. I want you to buy some property. And then I want you to get on the channel and say, everybody come live here for free. And we're going to be our own community. We're going to be, and the only one that is going to, the creator is going to meet all our needs. We're going to be a community of people loving one another. And the whole world is going to come running. I perceive that's the way it's going to be too, you know. Let me see. Gaia says, oh, cool stuff. I got a new subscriber. All right. Let me make that on the screen here. Put her comments on the screen. Hey, Gaia, if you want, you can click on the link and join us in my room on Facebook. I hope you don't get discouraged by the lack of participation. I know that when we end up being gathered, it ain't gonna be no problem with lack of participation in. I know that in my heart, man. But right now, on this side of eternity, you know, it's really hard to find brethren who will respond and share. But I know it's happening now. You be the change you want to see. So yeah, click on the link, Gail. Come in the room, have fellowship with us. And if you know of a fellowship, another faithless group, let me know so I can join them. So I can I want to get with brethren, and because I need to be fed too. You know, I want to get with lively brethren, you know, too. I need to do that, you know. So anyway, that'll be, oh, Elijah, I forgot his his uh his post. Crater is endless truth. OAHSPE is but a small fraction. Yeah, I certainly agree with that. It's but a small fraction of that pertains to this planet's history and etc. But all in all, help to connect the creator EOE, the ever present. Yeah, I think that's what we got here. Hey, bro, I think that we're in the darkest reality right now. This is the darkest one. Dave, he shared a video with me of another brother that was saying that he had a near-death experience, and it was revealed to him that place that we're in right now. And I saw a picture of it in the OAHSPE. Where, remember that picture I showed a couple of videos back? It showed the earth. It showed the first resurrection. It showed the third or the second resurrection. And then it showed Atmospheria. And then it showed, what's the one on top of that? Let me see. It's Atmospheria. And then what's the one on top of that? It's another word for Nirvana. The one on top of Atmospheria, Etheria. And I don't know if Etheria and Nirvana is the same thing. I don't know yet, but I forget. But anyway, Gaia, thank you. Hey, welcome to the room. I hope that you click on the link and join us in the room on Facebook, and you can post and share as often as your little heart desires. Well, brethren, let that be the conclude the video. I want to give thanks to the Heavenly Father, Earthly Mother, for this opportunity to be a light while I'm in this reality. I appreciate you, brethren, joining me so much. I pray to Heavenly Father that He will count us worthy to escape the things coming on the earth. And if something is due to come to pass, April 8th, if there's some event and it's going to be some type of event, man, beginning of hostilities or whatever, I hope that pray, Heavenly Father, your protection is on all your children. You tell us where to go, tell us where to do. I hope that applies to all of you, brethren. All right. So, Bronze Yogi. Hey, brother. Good to see you. I don't really care about, you know what? That's a trip, man. I never really try to promote this channel because I'm not saying, I mean, no, I appreciate you saying that, Yogi, but I believe my mind, if you look at my videos, it's very low viewership. It's very low. And I like to think like the creator, he bring people here. I hope he uses his channel to start a big, to bring all the faiths together. That's all I want for it, if anything. But I don't care about trying to be popular, or any of that. All I know is this word is so much fun. It just drives me crazy that the whole world ain't into it. That's hard on me, really hard on me. Because this word is just, it's too much on me. I mean, it's just fantastic. So I appreciate you, brethren. Thank you for joining me. And until I see you on video again, peace be unto you. Shalom.